Somebody's been hard at work down here. It looks like the city Parks hasn't been down here protecting the trees. Looks like the beavers have been getting to work. It looks like beavers. And they got all the wiring around them to protect some of the other trees. I can't imagine what else it would be getting to work like that. Hey YouTube, just taking a minute to sit down here and just wanted to, here's another discussion topic, kind of goes with my last video I did about SHTF and planning for the aftermath, and about really, planning just for HTF, which could just last a short bit of time. The aftermath is what really, when you think about planning and getting stuff together, like getting ready to go through that aftermath and being ready to get into that and what that's going to be like, and making it as positive as possible is really a goal to set when it comes to prepare. I mean, obviously, get prepared for the event, but then you have what's coming after, so you're not totally caught off guard or unaware or not capable of functioning in that environment. But going along with that, how will you know SHTF is over? I mean, there's some events that, obviously, nuclear war, well, the bombs stop dropping, or any war, bombs stop dropping, or whatever. EMP, very quick, sharp, done with. A natural disaster, earthquake, okay, it's done, it's over with, and it's the recovery. But the events that happen after those type of things are part of the SHTF, right? Like EMP goes at, and just, or let's say a solar flare, the ultimate, Carrington event goes down, and everything is decimated. When does the new normal take in? When do you know that you're really settling into a new normal? Or are we going to say it's the establishment of new governances, the establishment of electric power of some sort, getting back on water power, or bringing people back into, current living standards? Seems kind of unrealistic. Getting into a routine, going back to a 9-to-5 job, is that really what the new normal to be? Is that when you're going to say the SHTF is over? That doesn't make sense either. So being able to analyze the situation after an event like that, and identifying when you're transitioning from things are really bad to recovery and getting back to a new normal, and accepting that new normal and prospering in it, not just surviving. Because during the event, you're just surviving, you're just getting by day to day. You're doing what you need to look, to the next week or so. But when is that all going to end, and you can really dig down and plan for years down the road? And that's the aftermath. That's the after SHTF, is when you can look to years down the road and think of steps you can take, whether it's improving farmland or, setting up a way to get alternate power or whatever. Really need to think about that. And there's not an answer for this, I don't think. It's just thought process and being in your mind of when I'm in SHTF, things are bad. I got roving gangs. I got, mass murder, destruction, and whatever. And now things are starting to get to where you can operate and think long term. Maybe it's just when you can start transitioning to thinking. Maybe that's the end of the SHTF. That's the transition and getting to that aftermath. Maybe that's it. It's just it's part of the thought process, and knowing and allowing yourself to go into that thought process and getting out of that day-to-day survival mentality, which would be very difficult, to get out of that mentality when it's kept you alive for X number of days, weeks, years, maybe, and transition. We have a 9.0 catastrophic earthquake that sets off supervolcano Yellowstone, and somehow we manage to survive. And you transition from roaming about the country just trying to find what you can to settling down and establishing something, or whatever the event is. So really maybe putting that in your thought process of you know, I know that we start transitioning out of it and into a new normal, and accepting that we are in the new normal when you can start planning out days, not just days, but years ahead. I'm going to establish my homestead here. I've got this, way to bring in water, this way to bring in this alternate form of power, potentially, whatever. So just some thoughts for you guys to dovetail with that other video I did on the aftermath, and just really trying to figure out, well, when's the new normal? When is SHTF over with, and we can get on life, business of life, and setting about doing things. And I don't think anybody's answer is going back to a 9-to-5 job necessarily, but I guess in a Hurricane Katrina scenario, maybe the getting back to normal is going back to your 9-to-5 job. That, in a smaller scale, SHTF, that is getting things back and transitioning out of it in the aftermath. But in the big scale stuff, it's really going to be hard to determine and hard to see, I think. So just some thoughts, people. Y'all prepare, live free.